All right, here we go. Welcome back to the Rocky Top Insider post-game show. We are here right here on the field of Neyland Stadium. Final score, Ole Miss 31, Tennessee 26. Ryan Schumpert, Ric Butler right here for you. Ryan, I'll come to you first, man. What a game. I don't even know where to begin, so I'm going to leave that to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly still trying to get my bearings about me. And
Yep.
It was a crazy game. It was a long game to begin with, and then you had the near 20-minute delay of Tennessee fans throwing debris, or a little bit of everything. You were down on the field.
Oh, yeah, I was right down here in this corner, right? Kind of going back and forth, I guess, between the student section, and you're right. There were water bottles, there were beer bottles, there were pom-pom shakers. Everything you could imagine were right there being thrown on the field. And yeah, I mean, it was like a, 20-minute delay?
Yeah, about 20 minutes, and I mean, there's a lot of craziness in that. I mean, whoever had the wherewithal to bring a golf ball into the stadium just in case they needed to throw it on the field, I mean, that was crazy. But, I mean, on the game itself, Tennessee's defense, I think that's what stands out the most. Tennessee's defense played on its head. Excellent. I mean, just excellent. You couldn't have asked any more. I mean, they got killed on the third down quarterback draws from Corral. But besides that, they were really, really good. And it was a game that I felt like, not strictly Josh Heupel, but Josh Heupel's offense and the Tennessee offense kind of let the Vols down tonight.
Yeah, I think so too, man. Ryan, another thing that I take just kind of right here at first glance is injuries. I mean, there were a ton, not just on the Ole Miss sideline, which you know, I would say both injuries on both sidelines certainly factored into the final run time of the game.
Yep.
I mean, just an unbelievably long game. But also there were important injuries for Tennessee. You had no Tyon Evans in the game. You lost Cade Mays early. Cooper Mays was not playing. So all throughout the game, Tennessee was trying to deal with these injuries, and already a team that's already dealing with depth. How did you think they did about that in total?
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And when you look at Tennessee's offense, I think that's kind of where it started. They weren't able to run the ball anywhere near the way they ran it last week against South Carolina, 2 weeks ago against Missouri. And they ran it really, really well in those games. So maybe you don't expect them to run it that well. But it's still an Ole Miss defense. I think it was just 12th in the SEC in run defense coming in this game. And Tennessee just really didn't run the ball with much consistency. And I think that a lot of that comes, Tyon Evans not playing, Cade Mays not playing, Cooper Mays not playing. And Tennessee's offensive line, I think, did struggle both in run blocking and pass blocking. And that certainly showed up.
I think you're right, man. We will get into a little bit of final closing thoughts here. We're going to have so much work coming out for you tomorrow. Make sure to stay tuned to RockyTopInsider.com. But first and foremost, again, final score, Ole Miss 31, Tennessee 26. Tennessee had a chance. We're fighting for it at the end right there, but just came up short. Any kind of closing thoughts on the way out the door?
Well, yeah, I think it's just kind of that. Tennessee had really three in a game that really, before Tennessee got the ball, got 3 points in the first half. I think at that point in the game, Ole Miss had like triple the yards Tennessee did. Tennessee had 3 chances in the second half with the chance to take the lead. Now, obviously, you don't know they're going to win the game if they score on any of those besides the last one. They score in the last one, the last play, you win the game. But besides that, it doesn't mean you win the game. But again, Tennessee's offense had chances. They weren't able to capitalize, and I think that's kind of the story of the game. One last thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Quick note, Hendon Hooker, it was amongst the craziness, but that was not, I don't want to speculate on it, but that was not a good looking.
No.
That was not a good looking situation for him.
He was very what's the word I'm looking for? Just very kind of slow to get up.
Yeah.
You could tell that he was in a lot of pain.
Yeah, and in a game that I think on both sides had plenty of fake injuries to stop the pace. It was anti-fitting, anticlimactic, upsetting that the last injury of the night looks like a really serious one to a really important player for this Tennessee team.
No doubt about it. Hey, we are going to process through everything that happened today. We're going to write about it. We're going to talk about it. So make sure that you are stay tuned to RockyTopInsider.com so you can get all of that. Make sure to stay tuned to our socials as well at RockyTopInsider on Twitter and Instagram. This is Ryan Schumpert. I'm Ric Butler. You've been listening to the Rocky Top Insider postgame show. Ole Miss 31, Tennessee 26. We're moving into Week 8.